Hey, Wellness Wizards. I'm Brian Hogan, life coach, filmmaker, clinical therapist, and creator of the S.H.I.F.T model, where we blend emotional freedom techniques with internal family systems to help you relate to your inner world with kindness and clarity. Today, in just about 15 minutes, we're going to shift the way that you treat your shortcomings, the little ways you think you're behind, broken, not enough, or should be further along, quote unquote. Most of us meet our shortcomings with pressure, shame, or self judgment. But there's a deeper truth. Your shortcomings are not flaws, they're evidence of a system that is still unfolding. And there's a part of you, your inner wizard, your self with a capital S, that has known this since the beginning. This self energy, this wizard, is recognized everywhere. In the Upanishads, it's called the undivided self. In Buddhism, the awakened nature. In Christian mysticism, the indwelling Christ or Holy Spirit. In Sufi poetry, the beloved within. In IFS, it's the 8 C's and 5 P's of the self with a capital S. And even in the channeled wisdom of Seth, Bashar, and Abraham Hicks from the New Age movement, each pointing to an undamaged core of consciousness that knows the way, source. So science, mysticism, and the consciousness movement agree. There is a part of you untouched by trauma, unharmed by time, and unbothered by your pace. That's who we anchor into today. All you need is your breath, your body, and a willingness to let your wizard lead. Shift means S for somatic, feeling through the body, H for holistic, welcoming every part, the I and the F for internal family, seeing shortcomings as young parts doing their best and including all parts of ourselves, and the T for tapping, regulating the nervous system so self, the wizard, can take the lead. And we tap. And so as we tap today, remember this. Your shortcomings are parts who got tired, scared, or overwhelmed. Your inner wizard is not disappointed in them. That's a patient, curious, and infinitely compassionate core at the center of who you are. So take a slow breath. Bring to mind something you labeled a shortcoming: procrastination, inconsistency, self-doubt, disorganization, emotional reactivity. Notice that when you think of this flaw, another part jumps in with shame or criticism. But behind those protectors, your inner wizard just smiles gently and says, "Sweetheart, this is not a problem." Feel for the wizard's warmth. Even a drop of it is enough. It's the part of you that can witness the roller coaster that you go on with your emotions and just say, "Oh, there's suffering again. Oh, there's anger again. Oh, there's joy again." So just notice that. See if you can pop back out beyond that. This is an interesting thing that just happened sometime on my screen. It has nothing to do with anything that I can control. Well, one of you might know how, and you can let me know. Okay. Tapping on the side of your hand. Even though I see this part as a shortcoming, I'm willing to view it with compassion. Even though I judge myself for not being further along, my wizard is not worried. Even though this flaw frustrates me, self knows I am unfolding perfectly. Top of the head. This shortcoming is just a part. Eyebrow. It's been doing its best with what it had. Side of the eye. It's not a defect. Under the eye. It's a story I learned somewhere. Under the nose. My wizard sees past the story. Chin. My wizard is infinitely patient. Collarbone. My wizard knows who I am becoming. under the arm, unbothered by my pace. Okay, stop tapping there. Put your hand on your belly and one on your heart if that feels aligned, and take a nice, slow, deep breath in. And just reflect and pause the video between these reflective questions if you need to give yourself as much time or space as you need. How does your wizard see this flaw differently than your critic does? Can you sense how unhurried the wizard is? And what happens inside when self looks at this part, this shortcoming, with softness, without judgment? Take all the time you need there, and then when you're ready, just invite the part responsible for this shortcoming, quote unquote, to speak. Maybe it's tired, maybe it's scared, maybe it holds a belief like, if I try, I'll fail, or if I succeed, I'll be rejected, or if I slow down, everything will fall apart. Let it speak softly. You don't have to dive deep, just enough to understand its world a little bit, to understand what it goes through. And then begin tapping on the side of your hand. Even though this part struggles, I want to know its story. Even though it feels inadequate, I can meet it with care. Even though it fears being seen, I'm listening gently. Top of the head. This part isn't lazy. Eyebrow. It's protective. Side of the eye. It learned its strategy long ago. Under the eye. It thinks it's keeping me safe. Under the nose. It carries old beliefs. Chin. None of this is my fault. Collarbone. None of this is my flaw. Underarm. This is simply a part wanting love. Okay, stop tapping. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose and a long, slow exhale through pursed lips. And then just tune in. What is this part afraid would happen if it were to behave differently? And this is hypothetical. We're not asking it to change. We're asking what it's afraid of. What belief did it learn about you? What does it long for from your wizard? Reassurance, permission, rest? Just tune into those questions and see if you can meet any of the needs that come up from your part. Pause the video and take as long as you need here. And then when you're ready, imagine your wizard placing a hand on this part's shoulder and saying, you don't have to carry this pattern alone anymore. Feel how instantly that part softens. It's not asking to change, not being asked to do anything differently, just being given support. You don't have to carry this pattern alone anymore. And then begin tapping on the side of your hand. Even though this part is tired, I can help it rest. Even though it learned to protect me through struggle, I can take the lead. Even though it fears falling behind, my wizard is unhurried. Top of the head, this part can relax. Eyebrow, it no longer carries the whole burden. Side of the eye, Self is here now. Under the eye. Self is calm clarity. Under the nose. Self knows the next step. Chin. Self is patient with my pace. Collarbone. Self sees perfection in process. Underarm. Self loves me exactly as I am. Okay, stop tapping. Take that nice, slow, deep breath in. And then just tune in what releases in the body as this part hands some of its burden to self. What quality of wizard energy is most present? Peace, humor, spaciousness, compassion. Just pause the video and take time and be with your part as long as you need. And then when you're ready, imagine all of your parts, the achiever, the perfectionist, the exiles, the part of you you call a shortcoming, all sitting around the wizard at the center. And the wizard says, everything is unfolding. Nothing is wrong. You are becoming. Now begin tapping on the side of your hand. Even though these parts judged each other, they can trust the wizard now. Even though I felt divided before, I am allowed to feel whole. Even though I feared my flaws, I see them as teachers. Top of the head. Every part contributes to my becoming. Eyebrow. Even my shortcomings have wisdom. Side of the eye. They slow me down when needed. Under the eye. They show me what matters. Under the nose. Self-energy brings harmony. Chin. My wizard holds it all lightly. Collarbone. There is nothing wrong with me. Under the arm. I am unfolding in perfect rhythm. Okay, stop tapping. Take a nice, slow, deep breath there. And just tune into how does your wizard want you to treat yourself now? And what does your life look like when you trust your natural timing? Pause the video and take all the time you need. How does your wizard want you to treat yourself now? What does your life look like when you trust your natural timing? And when you're ready, let your wizard self radiate outward into your home, your relationships, your future. Imagine the world filled with people who no longer punish themselves for being human. As your wizard energy expands, begin tapping on the side of your hand. Even though the world rushes, I can move at wizard pace. Even though others judge themselves harshly, I can model compassion. Even though shortcomings exist, I now treat them with wisdom. Top of the head. My wizard energy blesses the world. Eyebrow. My softness inspires safety. Side of the eye. My patience transforms pressure. Under the eye. My acceptance heals shame. Under the nose. My presence is medicine. Chin. My wholeness is undeniable. Collarbone. My wisdom is ancient and eternal. Under the arm. This is the shift. Okay, stop tapping. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in. What does your wizard want to remember about your shortcomings? How will you walk differently after knowing they were never flaws? They were just unmet needs. And what opens inside you when you trust your inherent wholeness? Take a nice deep breath in. You've just completed a full shift. Somatic, holistic, internal family tapping, centered on transforming your relationship to your shortcomings. You remembered that you are guided by a timeless, ancient, future, valid self, a wizard who is unbothered by your pace and unfazed by your imperfections. Your shortcomings aren't mistakes, they're messages. They're parts asking for patience, not punishment. If this resonated, save it, share it, or return to it whenever you forget who you are becoming. I trust you, humanity. See you in the next video. Bye.